Feel Black, Creative Drive. And I thought I was ready to die. So I remember back in the day, me and John, aka Radio Raheem, we had this song we did. I don't even got a copy of it. I don't even remember the hook, but he had sampled this part off New Jersey Drive. Man, this song was dope. Oh, man. It was a North Carolina type of song. And it was, it might be somewhere, but it was dope. But the last line of his verse, he said, the truth is it takes fear to survive, because it don't take much when you're ready to die. And I just wrote this new record that is like a reflective record, you know what I mean? It's like a reminiscent record of when I used to live in Okinawa as a kid. And I said, living reckless till I found that I cared. Close calls, heart pounding and scared. And I thought I was ready to die. And it's true. It's like, I heard this thing the other day they were talking about. There's a thing to where people are suicidal, but they won't actually kill themselves, but they won't actually do things to prevent death either, to where it would be like, they just won't try to, they're not going to actually kill themselves. They're not going to, be preemptive either. And I'm ever since that line, man, I'm talking about this line shit, it's like probably over 20 years ago. And he always just had a bunch of fucking wisdom to be so young. And probably because his mom, man. I remember one time, because I used to, we was young, 19, 20, after we got kicked out of college, went back to the Ville. We was, I would always go to his crib, like Friday night, Saturday night, and we'll be back in the room, fucking with the DJ, fucking doing our new blends and shit. You know what I'm saying? Working on mixes. Maybe playing beats, working on new beats when we used to make beats with just two fucking Gemini 8-second samplers and shit, and we was making beats. Fucking with shit, you know what I mean? We might be looping some shit. Get two different loops going over a break beat record that we was playing off the vinyl. And we would just sit there and, fuck with music for a few hours. And I would always leave there and go out to the club. And his mom would always be on the porch chilling. You know what I'm saying? I remember the particular time, summertime, his mom would always be on the porch chilling. So I was, I remember, I'll never forget it. One night, I was leaving, I was going out, we talking, I always sit there and talk to her before I would leave. And she was like, Bobby, what are you looking for? There's nothing out there. Because she knew every time that I was left on the weekend, I was going out to the clubs and shit. And she was like, Bobby, what are you looking for? Nothing out there. And she was right. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun in the time, in the moment. You know what I mean? And what I needed for my sanity is constant movement. And chaos kept me sane. Seemed like I couldn't chill. I couldn't really sit still. Because I wasn't used to sitting still. So, like, for me, moving around, hustling, grinding, always been, like, my refuge. But then, on the flip side of that, my boy Jelani from Rocky Mount, he was C-Dub. I always remember C-Dub, man. C-Dub, man. He was just solid. That was still crazy. what now been at least what? Shit. Probably about 9 years since he passed. Yeah. Crazy. The people that, man, he used to drop mad wisdom off. You know what I mean? Just jewels. Drop jewels, jewels, jewels. But yeah, he was C-Dub roommate at A&T. And me and him became really good friends. You know what I mean? And I remember one thing, because even on that freshman year, I would always be like, yo, nigga, we got to do this. We got to do this. Or then when I went back, I'd be the same way. He would always be laid back chilling. You know what I mean? He'd be like, man, that shit ain't going nowhere. It'll be there. You know, as far as like things that'll be there, events, things that to where it's like not once in a lifetime memories or opportunities, you know, running the mill, routine occurrences. And he would never be pressed to go. You know, but I was just always trying to be moving and doing some shit. And yeah, two varied perspectives. There's nothing out there. Then on the other hand, it ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? There's truth in both the statements, you know. But back to the, you know, the ready to die shit. The truth is, it takes fear to survive because it don't take much when you're ready to die. You know. That always stuck with me. I don't remember nothing else from that song. I don't remember my verse. I don't remember nothing else he said in his verse. I can't remember the hook. I remember how the beat sound, but like that one ring true, like, cause you go through shit, you might become hopeless. You might feel like nothing's going right for you. You might feel like, well, am I even here? You know, all that type of shit. At the end of the day, if you don't want to be here, it's easy to not be here. You know what I mean? So it's like the fact that, you know, people go through different feelings and different stages and get through it. It just makes you think like that survival mechanism that we have when it comes to those mechanisms. So it's like it makes me think just in real time right now, like, is hopelessness a survival mechanism? Like, okay, when you feel hopelessness, does that kick you into another fucking drive to make you be like, yo, I don't want to feel this way? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't thought about it. I'm just thinking right now, like, hopelessness, so-called, you know, so-called suicidal thoughts. Like, I know plenty of people who have said there was times in their life during periods of time where they had so-called suicidal thoughts, right? But what is the purpose of these things? Like, what is the purpose of the hopelessness? What is the purpose of a so-called suicidal thought? What's the purpose of it? Because the purpose of hopelessness isn't to just feel hopelessness and give up. But many successful people, many happy people, many content people have felt hopeless. So in the absence of hopelessness, right? If you're just going through a bunch of fucked up shit and you never feel hopeless, you'll just become complacent with the feeling or the situation that you've arrived at. So maybe the hopelessness is your soul and your mind letting you know that this ain't it. This ain't it. But yeah, this one I'm gonna have to get back to. You know, the truth is it takes fear to survive. Cause it don't take much when you're ready to die. Creative Drive. Peace.